What's up guys, Kris Gethin here. We are in for a bumpy ride over the next 6 months. So as you may or may not know, last year I spent the majority of the time, 8 or 9 months, participating in various endurance aspects. Did a half Ironman and had some injuries. Had a shoulder surgery back in, I think it was June. Was it June I had the shoulder surgery? Something like that. And then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go for a different goal this year. My goal is gonna be to lose muscle. Never done anything like that after, almost 20 years of bodybuilding. And I just wanted to do it to apply another form of discipline to my game and see if I could do it. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, not going to the gym. So I had to do a lot of running, cycling, swimming, just to get the same therapeutic value. But now it's time for me to put it all back on. So I've healed from the surgery. I had stem cells about 4 weeks ago, and I feel like I'm in the running to come back now and pack on some more muscle and do it in a different manner where I'm trying to kind of biohack my health at the same sort of time. So, making sure that I'm always eating organic, having humane raised. I'm taking only the best supplementation, obviously with cage muscle and other forms of supplements, whether it comes in a form of like multivitamins or glutathione or high levels of vitamin C. That's what I'm wanting to do, and I'm always having my blood reports to ensure that I'm doing the right things that is going to heal my future, not harm my future. And that was one of the reasons why I had stem cells, because I do abuse my body. Whether I'm going out for a long run, being a little bit heavier, I am a bit lighter than what I have been. But whether it be that or beating myself in the gym, I want to make sure that when I get to 90, 100 years old, that I'm not regretting what I did, because I do want to increase my longevity, but I want to kick ass while I'm doing it. I don't want to just sit in my ass. So over the next 6 months, you're going to follow me every day to watch how I put on muscle. This isn't so much like a video trainer. This is a raw documentary to see exactly what I do. I'm not telling you this is what you should do. This is what I do, and this is what works for me. So if you're interested in applying all of these aspects, I'm happy to put out additional content for you so you can kind of see what all of that is about on this platform, which is now called Health Kick. Of course, I will continue to put out content and free content on caged muscle, as I always do. But this is something addition that I want to put out there that a lot of people have been asking for. So anyway, we're starting with delts today. I'm starting with the rear pec deck flies to ensure that I work the muscles that are generally weaker on my physique and a lot of other people's, and that is the rear delt. So I want to prioritize that area, so that's why we're starting with this. So let's get it going on. Always making sure staying hydrated during the workout. A lot of people, when they're fatiguing quickly, it isn't because they didn't eat the right things the day before, it's because they were dehydrated. So always making sure that you're hydrated. Now the weights that you're going to see me doing aren't going to be anything spectacular. I'm just getting back into training after taking so much time off. So I don't want to injure myself. So I'm really working on that mind-muscle connection, visualizing a muscle and trying to put more stress and load onto it through that connection, as opposed to the amount of weight that I'm putting on the plates. Going to do now is superset. If I'm doing a side raise, then I'll immediately go onto the upright row there. doing a superset here, so going from the side raises straight to the upright rows, leaning over to make sure that I get a real good contraction at the top of the side raise, being very conscious not to use my traps. I'm doing about 15, 20 repetitions on each side there, and then I come straight onto the upright rows with a very wide grip. I can't do a full range of motion on this anyway, since the surgery that I had last year. But I go very wide anyway on this, so it won't be a full range of motion, just to really target the rear head of the delts. So usually I wouldn't go from a bilateral exercise directly to a unilateral exercise straight to a bilateral, but because they are working different muscle groups, I don't feel it so much in the lateral head of my delts that I just worked with the side raises. I do feel it all in the rear head, so it's a good superset to go for, and I'm doing about 4 sets here. 4 sets on pretty much everything here today. Whew. 55 pounds, that felt very heavy. So, because I had the surgery on the left side, it isn't painful at all. It's just very hard for me to get this arm back to direct my force vertically. It tends to want to drive forward, so I'm having to force it back. So it's just causing just a little bit of an imbalance at the moment, which I guess will just get better as time goes on, you know. We will see, only time will tell. So I'm doing the military press here. Again, I'll do 4 sets, trying to get anywhere between 12 and 15 repetitions here. Just really trying to get the pump, get the blood into the muscle. Follow the shoulder press as the side raises, so I'm doing 4 sets in total. On my 4th set, what I'm doing is cutting my weight down from 25 pounds, where I'm reaching failure at about 15 reps, down to 10 pounds, where I'm gonna just hit side raises for 90 seconds. So I'll do my conventional set, drop the weight, immediately go into the 10 pounds, and try to push it out for 90 seconds. I'll probably have to stop a few times and hit some rest pause repetitions just to get the 90 seconds out. So I'm gonna get my phone now and time this. Seated calf press, straight onto standing. So I'm going to superset now. We're going to start off with seated, knock out about 20 repetitions there minimum, target the soleus. Then we're going to go and smash the gastrocnemius on a standing calf. Won't be using as much weight, obviously, because I'll be pre-fatigued. But the idea is behind the calves, I believe, is a lot of blood volume, a lot of intensity, short rest periods. You've got a very thick fascia in your calf, which is why you'll see some people with skinny calves. And I used to be one of those people, but you have to really annihilate it through a lot of intensity. And this is the one muscle group that generally is the most painful of all of them. And you're gonna have to basically, I don't know, embrace that pain in order to get your calves to grow. Alright, that is a wrap. Day one of this documentary on the Health Kick platform. So we're training here out of Berserker Gym for this video series. It's more of a hardcore atmosphere, you know, really good equipment. It's easy to navigate if I want to do supersets or giant sets. I really like the machines here, so this is going to be my place where I choose to train out of for a while. You know, the guys here are really good, and you know, the hospitality is awesome, so I get a good vibe, and that's very important when you're choosing a gym. As far as I'm concerned, you got to have the good vibration. You're going to be spending a lot of your time here, so you know, it obviously has to fit right. You don't go for a certain place just because everyone else goes, or you know, because that's popular. I like to go to places where, you know, it feels right. It's a hardcore atmosphere. People are here to, you know, work out, not fuck about. You know, this is quite a daunting task. You know, I've got 6 months to really pack on as much mass as I possibly can, but not just dirty mass, clean size. I've always said that you can put on muscle and lose fat at the same time, but my focus is not going to be burning fat at the moment, even though I am pretty bloody fat, very flabby. Considering that I do so much, I've been doing so much endurance work, it goes to show it's not always relative to burning fat. It's all dependent on the type of cardio that you're doing, and dependent on the type of diet that you're following. My diet over the past 9 months has been like a cyclical keto diet, intermittent fasting in an attempt to lose muscle, and not very high on protein at all. You know, extensive amount of cardio, and you know, I haven't been taking that much in the way of supplementation. And speaking of which, my supplementation is going to be a little bit different from this, and I'll give you some insights to that in other videos. But one of the major changes is that my pre-workout meal now is my whey protein isolate. Usually I'd have food like fish or eggs, but what I found over the last couple of years, I've just had a little bit of a harder time digesting the amount of solid food required to pack on size, because I eat a lot of food. My body does take up a lot of food, but my digestion isn't always in a place to, you know, to break it down. I'm taking additional HCl now and biooptimizers, enzymes. You know, I'm looking after the gut microbiome. You know, I'm really efficiently looking after that and making sure I'm not taking antibiotics or any, you know, I'm taking only like grass-fed, humane-raised and organic product. But what I noticed over the past couple of years, my waist had got bigger. Yeah, I've been doing deadlifts and squats, but my waist was getting thicker, and it was just because I felt bloated all the time trying to get the food down me. So I'm trying to take more supplements now, some more whey isolate. So I'm taking a micro-pure whey isolate. I'll generally have that sometimes at breakfast, sometimes not, but always as my pre-workout meal. Then I'll have my pre-workout about an hour after that. Then I'll have my post-workout re-caged, which I'm having in here now. And I'll have additional glutamine in here as well. And then if I do some post-workout cardio, which I'm not doing just yet, I'll have my essential amino acids. But I've got a big jug up there where I'm drinking my essential amino acids pretty much all day. So my amino synergy is what the formula is called. That's kind of replaced my hydrocharge quite a lot now, because I want to make sure that I'm getting sufficient amount of EAAs in my system whilst I'm trying to increase my calorie consumption, so I have the protein in place, because one scoop of that is the equivalent of like 20 grams of whey isolate. So that's what I'm doing. So what I'm really trying to focus on now during the next 6 months is quantifying my sleep. So I measure my sleep patterns with my ring, this Aura ring, using my infrared sauna, when I'm at home, because I travel a lot, about 4 or 5 days a week, just to really increase the heat shock protein production, help any detoxification pathways. I usually follow that with an ice cold shower as well, get rid of any inflammation in my body, helps assist with my recovery as well, and doing everything that I can to kind of relax, lower my cortisol levels, meditate, and quantify my recovery so I can dictate my performance in here. Unless you recover, you're not performing, and I want to go for all that low-hanging fruit first before I start biohacking too much further. Anyway, so that's it for today. Welcome to this Health Kick platform and this documentary. Check it out, because we're about to transform over 6 months, baby. Let's get ready.